What's up guys, Stacy here. So, a couple days ago I tried barefoot running. I've been reading about it in this book, Born to Run by Christopher McDougall. So, this book talks about this ancient tribe that runs for miles and miles called the Tarahumara, and they basically run kind of barefoot. So, it talks about how our bodies were designed to run like this, and the whole new age of modernism brought on running shoes that are giving us more injuries than running barefoot. So, since I usually get shin splints and I get them often and they're very painful, I decided to try running barefoot. So, Tuesday earlier this week, I did. I went to the track inside my gym and I took my shoes off. I ran with my socks because I didn't want the staff to tell me that I couldn't run barefoot, and nobody told me anything regardless, but still I ran with my socks on. Now, first thing that I noticed when I was running in my socks, my foot striking changed. Usually with my running shoes, I used to be a heel striker, but the second I started running, I was a mid-foot striker. What that means is that I was landing on the balls of my feet or the middle of my feet instead of at the heel. So when you start at the heel, it goes like this. But when you start on the mid-foot, you land on the mid-foot and then your heel goes down, or it doesn't go down at all, which is what happened to me. So after a few seconds running, I also realized that my legs felt so light. I am an overpronator and I have a medium arch and a high arch, so I had to get the fancy shoes to correct the overpronation, and I had to get the orthotics to help with the arch support, and my shoes are just very heavy. So having the freedom of not having that amount of weight on my feet was liberating. When I started running, I bought the cheapest shoes that I could find on Amazon, and I was running 30 minutes 5Ks. I never got injured. I just kept increasing my mileage, nothing bad happening. But the second that I went to a shoe store to figure out my running form to get the appropriate shoes, that's when everything started going downhill. That's when I started getting shin splints, when I started running slower. And when I bought my shoes, I told the guy, I said, these shoes feel heavier than my current shoes, but he said that that's how it's supposed to be to correct the overpronation. But turns out they are just too heavy for me. So when I was running barefoot, my feet felt so light. I literally felt like I was running on nothing. The only weight I was carrying was my torso and up. My legs didn't feel heavy at all. So while I was running, striking on my midfoot, I decided to strike on my heel just to see the difference, because I found it so weird that I would change strikes so naturally. So I landed on my heel a couple times while barefoot to see how it felt, and I could feel tension in the front lateral side of my lower leg, and that's where I usually get my shin splint. So I discovered that when I'm heel striking, I'm overusing that muscle, and that's causing the shin splints. When I was running barefoot, since I was landing on my midfoot, I wasn't using that muscle at all. So I do think that it was a great way not to just experiment something new, but to kind of figure out how your body works in terms of what's connected to what, if you land here, what muscles I'm using. So 15 minutes go by and I'm running barefoot, and I start to notice that the majority of my weight lands on my big toe. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to shift my weight to not having that. So I ended up cutting my barefoot run to 17 minutes and then changing to my running shoes to finish the run, just because the weight on my big toe was being too much. Not in the sense that it hurt, but I could feel the skin on my big toe kind of getting tired. And it's totally natural, I guess. I think that could be solved with just keeping running barefoot a little bit more each time. It was my first time. So I do think nothing was going wrong, just that my feet had to get used to it. The only preparing I did before running barefoot was just walking my dog outside barefoot every day instead of with shoes instead, just to kind of test it out and be kind of like used to the tough surfaces. By the way, my dog's not here because he's at my boyfriend's mom and dad's for the week. So I'll have a photo of him right here to keep us company because he's with us in spirit. I know some of you like him a lot, so here he is. So right after my run, I come back home and my calves are so tight. As I said, when I was heel striking, I could feel the muscles in my front lateral sides on the lower leg working. So apparently when I land on my midfoot, the muscles that I use the most are my calves. They were so sore I couldn't walk normally. It hurt every time that I was sitting down for a long time and I had to stand up. They hurt like hell. And the pain lasted all the way till Friday. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 4 days of having like calf pain. The kind of pain that when you stand up, you can't put your legs straight because they hurt. So because of that, I had a really bad leg day the day after the run. I had leg day. I was doing fine with squats, doing fine with Romanian deadlifts, but when it came to curls, and especially leg presses, my legs were not happy. So I decided just to listen to my body. Running is more important than weightlifting right now because of dopey. So I decided to cut it whenever I felt like I couldn't go any further. Same with cycling. I cycled right after leg day. And again, I usually do 35 to 45 minutes, and I had to cut it at 25 because it was just too much. And after that, I just took a break Thursday and Friday. Instead, I just rested on Thursday, and on Friday we went to the springs. So it was mostly swimming and kayaking, so upper body strength. So nothing excessive on the legs. Today I'm going back to the gym. I'm gonna run again, 45 minutes on the track, and then I'm gonna do back and by. Again, I'm gonna try running barefoot and then with shoes. I'll let you know how that goes in my future videos. But yeah, in conclusion, I liked barefoot running. I liked it so much that I ordered a pair of shoes. I know it's kind of contradictory to be like, oh, I like barefoot running and I just bought a pair of shoes. But there are shoes out there that are very minimalistic, that are just there to protect the soles of your feet while running. Because I decided that I now want to try running with shoes that are very light in weight and that doesn't have arch support. I do think running like this will strengthen my calves and make me a faster runner. I was running a faster pace than I usually do with shoes, about like 30 seconds faster than usual. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to try barefoot running. It doesn't have to be every single one of your runs, but try it once. Let me know how it went in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.